So I have a bit of a confession to make. Uh, I was planning on doing this video for a while because, like, I saw this opening day at the theaters back when this movie first came out. And it's always held kind of a special place for me in my journey into films and movies. And when I heard that this year was the 20th anniversary of when this movie first released, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a special video talking about the impact this movie had on me, how much I love it, even though it has some weak aspects or some dumb aspects to the film. It's a very special movie for me, and I'm one of the few people that lets it skate by, even though there are some bad aspects to it. And I, for some reason, was convinced that this movie came out on October 4th, 2004. And then come to find out that it actually came out on August 13th, 2004. And I was getting ready for the Alien Romulus review. I was like completely, discharged from everything else. The next video I was going to do was my Alien Romulus review, and it was the Tuesday beforehand, and I saw this video like celebrating 20 years after the release of Alien vs. Predator. I was just like, wait a minute, what? Like, this is the European release, right? It actually came out later in the US. It's like, nope, came out August 13th, 2004. Fuck! I missed the mark. I'm coming in a little late with this, but 20 years is 20 years, and so what if this video comes out a week later? I could have tried rushing this, but I really wanted to keep focus on getting the Alien Romulus review out in time. And so, yeah, I decided to do this after the Alien Romulus review, even though I'm recording it beforehand. But with that all being said, let's talk about Alien vs. Predator, or AVP. Yeah, growing up as a kid, I was a bit of an Alien Predator fanatic. More so Predator as a kid. That's kind of switched now these days. I'm a little bit more of an Alien fanatic than I am Predator. But as a kid growing up, like, the shit for me was the Predator. And I mean, I could spend hours talking about, how each of the films I had like a unique thing with, but like what kind of started my Alien Predator fandom journey was the fact that when I was 8, I had the stomach flu. Not stomach flu, the stomach flu. What I mean by that is the stomach flu to end all stomach flus. And I would have sworn on a stack of Bibles that I was not going to make that. I was going to die. Like, that was just the pain I was feeling with that stomach flu. And my dad, halfway through it, he starts giving me like these presents to kind of cheer me up. And one of the presents he gives me is a Priority Mail envelope full of Alien and Predator comic books. And those comics, Alien and Predator, saved my life. They got me through that stomach flu. I remember one of the sets of comics I got was Predator Cold War, which was a fun, like, 4-issue run. Really would be a really cool movie if they were to adapt that into an actual movie. But getting off the point, like, I absolutely have had a complete love with these two franchises. I'm one of the few hundred people that actually love when Alien and Predator crossed over. There's a lot of diehard Predator fans that do not like them crossing over. There's a lot of Alien fans that do not like them crossing over. I'm one of the few hundred that do, and I'm one of 4 people that liked when they threw in the Terminator for good mix. Moving on. No, I mean, I love that because these are my 3 favorite franchises of all time. The Alien, the Predator, and the Terminator. Like, just those 3, I have such an affinity for that I have an entire playlist on my channel dedicated to aliens, predators, and terminators. You can check out that playlist to see all the videos I've done. I have so many more coming, it's not even funny. But growing up, I've always loved the Alien vs. Predator comics. The video games just like blew my mind. I didn't really get a chance to play the first one, but the second one I got to play. It was the second video game I ever owned, and that thing in my mind is a masterpiece. I absolutely love that game. And my dad, I remember my dad telling me this interesting story. Back in like 93, 92, he was in the toy department of Toys R Us or Walmart, whatever. And he was getting toys for me and my sisters, and this kid starts chatting his ear off. Keep in mind, my dad is in California at the time, okay? And this kid's chatting his ear off saying, oh, you know that they're going to make a movie about Alien and Predator, right? And my dad's like, yeah, right. But for some reason, this always stuck with him. Like, this kid ran off to his parents. Probably his dad was a producer at, like, 20th Century Fox. Because apparently, they had gotten the, like, script bought in, like, 90 or 91 at 20th Century Fox. So they were thinking about making this thing all the way back before I was born. And my dad said that I never forgot that kid, and just somehow that kid knew they were working on an Alien vs. Predator film. And I'm like, there's no way they're doing it. I'm like a little kid at the time. And, I mean, I thought this was never going to happen. I never thought that they would do an Alien vs. Predator movie. And the closest I ever got was with the second Predator film. There was a period of time that the second Predator film was my favorite Predator film, simply because of that scene at the tail end of the movie when Danny Glover is approaching that wall and you see an alien skull on a wall. Well, I was just like, holy fucking shit. Like, imagine being a little kid, seeing that for the first time, and you love these two franchises. Like, your brain is going to melt. And so, I mean, like, I was like, there's no way. There is no way that we are going to be blessed with seeing these two creatures on the big screen at the same time. And then when I saw the trailer for AVP, Alien vs. Predator, whoever wins, we lose, I literally had like a seizure of joy. I just like started like shaking and convulsing and like just, you know, like enjoying the high of just knowing that someone was actually making this into a movie. And look, grown up, looking back, it's not a perfect film, alright? I acknowledge that. It has its issues. There's some cheesy lines. It should have been rated R. It should not have been PG-13. But you know what? I freaking love this movie. It's not the greatest chapter in either one of the franchises, but it's definitely a fun time. You can just sit down with bucket popcorn and just enjoy. It's good, dumb, stupid fun, but it's like almost self-aware that it's good, dumb, stupid fun. It's not trying to take itself too seriously. Some people might argue that. I mean, you could argue that it is trying to take itself too seriously. But I always felt like it wasn't taking itself too seriously. And I remember, like, the day it was coming out, I was like, Mom, Dad, we gotta go see this. It's like, Chris, we're not going to town today to see a movie. We got things we gotta do. I was like, please. Like, I had to see this opening day. For some reason, I was convinced that if I didn't see this opening day, I was not a true Alien and Predator fan, and I was just a hack Alien and Predator fan. I think I was like 11 at the time. Let's see. Yeah, no, I think I was 12 at the time, and for some reason, I had that thought in my head. I don't know why. No one told me that. The trailers didn't say that. The trailers didn't go, if you don't see this on opening day, you're not a real fan. They never did a trailer like that. Just for some reason, I had that thought in my head. And it was looking like I wasn't going to get to. It was looking like, you know, we'll do it next Monday. You know, after the weekend. That, like, in my mind, that was going to be a long-ass weekend. But, No, I got lucky, and it was like, okay, let's go. Drove to town, we got the tickets, and I got to see Alien vs. Predator opening day. I thought October 4th, but actually on August 13th, 2004. And I just, like, I loved it. I loved it. And, like, my favorite parts were when the Alien and Predator came on the screen. I didn't really give a rat's ass about any of the human characters, except for maybe Lance Henriksen, because it's like, oh, Bishop is back. But yeah, I did not really care about the human drama of the story. It's like, I didn't even really care about it being set in Antarctica. I just wanted to see an alien and a predator on the screen at the same time, and I got that. And yeah, I'm very happy that I got that. I mean, are there some design choices I wasn't nuts about? Like, yeah, the Predators looked a little goofy with their mouths not exactly looking right and them being, like, really roided out. And some of the aliens looked a little weird. But one thing I want to give credit to this movie on is they did everything practically as much as they could when they could. There's obvious scenes of CGI, okay, obviously. But like, when they could, they did the aliens and predators practically, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. One of my biggest criticisms of Alien Covenant is that the alien is 100% CGI. Another criticism of The Predator is that the first half of the movie I kind of enjoyed because they did things practically, and then when they went all CGI, it's like, it kind of loses something. And so, I mean, like, it was interesting, the choice of director, Paul W.S. Anderson. I don't like giving him as much shit as a lot of people do. I think he's a little underrated at times. I don't think he's the greatest director ever, but, like, he's given me some great childhood memories, whether it's Mortal Kombat, the first Resident Evil, which I feel is actually really underrated. A lot of people like giving Resident Evil, the film series, shit. The Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies, there's actually some pretty decent chapters, and the first one is pretty solid. Even for a diehard Resident Evil fan, I think they can take a lot from that first film and be able to enjoy it. That being said, he has had some stinkers, like The Three Musketeers and Pompeii, which is just Titanic. Like, seriously. It's just a blatant Titanic ripoff. Just, instead of it being the Titanic, it's Pompeii. But no, he's had some great films. Probably one of his best films is most likely Event Horizon, if we're being honest. But Alien vs. Predator is another one that just kind of like, yeah, no, I hold this up in like his top 5 films, and I enjoyed it. Now, in hindsight, I could have used a little bit more Alien and Predator. I think there was a little bit too much done on the human drama. Although, I do like that the special edition DVD, which I have, it comes with the unrated edition. And let me see if I have this right. Yeah, the unrated edition has like 8 extra minutes in the movie, which doesn't add a whole lot. It just adds a little bit of character development, a couple of bloodier scenes, even though like a lot of blood is CGI. But like for the most part, I've always enjoyed watching the unrated edition over the theatrical cut, and like looking at some of the scenes now as I'm speaking, like it just brings back so many memories. I love the different designs of the Predator helmets. I like they had different weapons, and one thing that I got really big into at the time was Todd McFarlane had a toy company called McFarlane Toys, and they released a toy line of the Alien and Predators from this film. And I got like, I'd say 3/4 of them. Like, I didn't get all the aliens. I only got like one of the aliens, but I got like all the Predators that they made at the time. And I opened them up and I played with them. I broke some of them, which in hindsight probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, simply because they're probably worth a good chunk of money now. I did keep the packaging, And any eagle-eyed viewers who watch the channel regularly, they could probably see those Alien vs. Predator toys on the wall. Because I still kept all the little pieces, I kept all of the damaged pieces, I kept all the cases, and I put them back together and I put them on the wall, and they're not worth as much as they would be if they were sealed. Like, hell, I think some of them might have been like over $100 sealed, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely, I kept all of them, and I have them on my wall now, and just cherished memories from my past. I think I watched this movie like 100 times. Especially like whenever my parents went to bed and I had like some time to stay awake, I would like pop in this movie and just have it playing in the background, just jamming out to Alien vs. Predator. And yeah, I anytime I see someone like, let's rate all the Alien Predator films, and they always say, oh, the AVP films are dog shit, I always kind of like, no, I disagree. I like them. Even the sequel, which I won't really get into here, I felt the sequel was a little bit underrated, if that makes sense. Like, everyone universally says the sequels suck, and it's like, actually, there's some really great aspects to the sequel. Don't get me wrong. There's some really, really terrible aspects to the sequel as well. I'm not saying the sequel's a masterpiece. But, no, one day I probably will talk about the sequel and the things I loved about it, things I hated. But, I mean, with Alien vs. Predator 1, going back to it, I would say that one of the biggest faults is that the human characters don't get the great development that you saw with, like, the characters in the first Alien film and the second Alien film, or even the first Predator film. You know, because like the characters in the first Predator film were pretty damn fantastic. Even Predator, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, Predator 2 had really damn fantastic characters as well. And in Alien vs. Predator, like a lot of these characters, they're kind of throwaway. You don't really get a chance to really connect with them. You do with like the main character, Lex. And then you get to with Charles Wayland and maybe the Italian guy who apparently at the time was like a superstar in Italy, and so like this movie was really big in Italy because of him and him alone. And so like Italians were really happy that he was in an American film. But I mean, like a lot of the secondary characters, they were just a little bit underdeveloped. Like there's this one blonde-haired chick. She was the chick that had a gun always. It's like they kind of started developing her, but not enough. And then like there was this guy, character actor. He has a very distinct scar on his face in all of his movies. It's a real scar. He didn't get enough development. And it's just like, seriously, we could have used a little bit of development with some of these guys. You get a hint of that with the unrated cut and those extra 8 minutes. Would love to see like an ultimate director's cut from Paul W.S. Anderson one day. It's just like, screw it, I'm going to throw every deleted scene in, and we're going to just make this as long as humanly possible. And yeah, you know, like I know he probably doesn't feel that need to do that, because there's a lot of directors like, nope, I was happy with the theatrical cut. I don't need to do anything more with it. But yeah, 20 years it's been. Holy hell, 20 years. I can't believe it. How time flies. It feels like it's only been like 7 years for me. But no, it's been 20 years. I was just a little kid then. And like I absolutely love it. And like that was probably one of the first movies that I started giving a shit about like the box office take. Because it's like, oh, I hope this does well, because if it does well, I could get a sequel. And like the real desire for any Alien vs. Predator fan, like I'm letting you know this now, the real desire of any true Alien vs. Predator fan is to see Colonial Marines added in. And like when I heard they were doing a second one, it's like my fingers were crossed, like, please have the Colonial Marines. Please have Colonial Marines. Please have the Colonial Marines. It's like, it takes place immediately after the first one. Like, shit! Yeah. And I hate how the directors of the second one like were teasing, if we do a third one, we'll do Colonial Marines, and they were just trying to get the studio interested. It's like, no, like the second one didn't do that well, and so they lost the goodwill of the studio to do a third one. And it's like, oh gosh. And what's crazy is, like, there's only been one movie that's had Colonial Marines in it. That's Aliens, and it's such a pop culture thing now. Colonial Marines. I see so many people at comic book conventions going as a Colonial Marines. The pulse rifle is such an iconic weapon, and it's been in really any movie. It's like the Colonial Marines have been made popular by the comics and by the video games, and like some of the best Alien vs Predator comics and games all involved Colonial Marines. And so this one, it's just like, man, it would have been so cool if these were like Colonial Marines exploring a pyramid, and like that would have been awesome. And nah, we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. And so that was unfortunate. And like another thing I did not like about this movie, and call me a stickler, but I don't like the inconsistency when it comes to how long facehugger chestburster life cycle is with these movies. Like the first movie, it was like half an hour, 40 minutes. Second movie, it could have been like a day or two. We're not sure. Third movie, it was a couple of hours. Fourth movie, it was like 7 hours. Like the guy went through like the entire movie before getting to the chestburster scene. And then this movie, they get the facehugger, and then immediately when they wake up, it's just like, oh, boop, the facehugger pops out, or the chestburster pops out. It's like, wait, what? Like, I was kind of hoping to see him like walking around, like, what happened, man? And like, you know, like try to get together with the other ones, and then like just out of the blue, they just start dying on people. Like that would have been cool. And so that's always kind of bugged me about like the life cycle of like face hugger to chestburster, and this movie kind of started doing the inconsistencies. I guess they did just to get the plot moving, but I really would have liked to see more time in it. Now, keep in mind, I'm really nitpicking, and so, but you know, all in all, this is a movie that holds a special place in my heart because this was a movie I was super obsessed about as a little kid, and you know, like this was one of the first movies that, going back, this was one of like the first movies I actually cared about if it did good numbers at the box office, and it did. And I did eventually get that sequel. Could have used a few more, but yeah. It was like a period of time I kind of felt like the franchises, all in all, were probably dead. And you had like a couple last gasps with like Alien Covenant and The Predator 2018's The Predator, and it just, there was like this period of time they kind of felt dead, and now they're kind of both back in like I almost better than ever. I have at the time of this recording, I haven't seen Alien Romulus yet, even though my Alien Romulus video is coming out before this video. My recording schedule is a nightmare, but you know, like Prey was pretty decent. I won't say it's the greatest Predator film ever, like some people said, but it's pretty decent. And Alien Romulus looks really hopeful, and I'm kind of hoping that Disney and their really bad decisions will finally give us the Alien vs Predator and Colonial Marine movie that, you know, we've all been kind of waiting for. And going back, I love this movie. I'm glad I own it, and I'm looking forward to watching it again on this 20th anniversary. I'm probably going to watch it tonight after I'm done recording it, because I didn't watch it before recording this, because I have seen it like 100,000 times. Like, that's how big of a fan of this movie I was, and yet I forgot which day it came out. So I'm not a true fan. Seriously, why did I think that? Why did I think that if I didn't watch this on opening day, I wasn't a real Alien and Predator fan? I don't know. But anyway, that's just kind of been my look back at Alien vs. Predator, or AVP as you would. And yeah, that's That's been my thoughts on it. My name's Christopher Carl with the Lemon Out Views, and that will be all for today.